Hey guys, welcome back. Behavior Strategies for Class. This is where we are turning student behavior challenges into classroom success stories. Are you a teacher or an educator looking for practical, proven ways to manage student behavior and create a positive learning environment? Well, Behavior Strategies for Class delivers evidence-based classroom management tips, student engagement strategies, and real-world behavior solutions that you can use right away. And all of these will help you respond to your students' challenging behaviors with calm, clarity, and confidence. So I am so happy you are here. So, as a reminder, in March, we're talking about the regression reset because I'm sure you've seen some of your students acting extra crazy, like they forgot how to be in school. And so, we're going over different ways that you can hopefully get a reset. So, today's episode is about regulate first, quick micro practices that will calm your classroom. Because when a student's nervous system is dysregulated, the parts of their brain responsible for reasoning, compliance, and problem solving, they're not working. They're not aware at all of what's happening. And sometimes a 60-second regulation micro practice will lower that psychological awareness. It will signal safety and predictability. It's going to reduce some of those power struggles and restore access to their executive functioning while protecting your relationships. So these will be strategies that we're going to talk about today that you can start using today because they are quick, doable, and rooted in brain science. So before we get started, as always, please hit that subscribe button, share this podcast, this episode with other educators that you know, so we can continue to learn and grow together. Now, I also want to introduce you to, which I think I did last week, about the Behavior Mastery membership. Now, this is a monthly coaching community for all educators who want to respond to challenging student behavior with calm, clarity, and confidence. And this membership is your supportive space to learn, practice, and refine those skills that make classroom behavior feel manageable and not overwhelming. And inside this monthly community, you'll get the coaching, tools, connection you need to navigate challenging moments with confidence while protecting your own nervous system. So, like I said, inside this membership, you will have monthly group coaching sessions that I will bring to you. You will get trauma-informed behavior strategies that will help you respond with skill and not stress. You'll also get scripts, visuals, and micro interventions that you can use immediately. You'll also get a supportive community of educators who understand the emotional load of teaching and dealing with these challenging student behaviors. So if you want ongoing encouragement and accountability so you never feel like you're doing this work alone, this membership is for you. So check the show notes, for the link, and you can sign up today and start getting that community, that connection, that support and encouragement that you need to make it through the rest of the year to deal with your students' challenging behaviors. Okay, so we've definitely have students who have been struggling in getting back in the swing of things. And we haven't even had spring break yet, right? Like their stamina is gone and their concentration, their, I guess, desire to keep learning and do their work, it's pretty much out the window. Their patience, their stress level is like not very high at all. And so one of our students, he just gets mad, kicks stuff, and then walks out of the room. Now, the good thing is he used to run out of the building, like down to the parking lot, and he has not done that in a long time, which is huge, huge accomplishment for him. But he will still just walk out, and right now he'll just walk out of the room. So he'll just be right outside the room. So, but he's still mad, he's still angry, he'll still like kick things, punch things, cuss. But now it usually will take less than a minute and he'll be like, fine, and go back to class. Sometimes I don't even say anything. I'm just standing there, making sure, of course, he's safe and he's not hurting anybody else. And also, to talk with him if he's ready. One time he's like, what is it? And I'm like, I don't know, buddy. Like, you're the one who got upset and came out the door, And then sometimes he'll talk about it and other times he won't. And I'll just wait for him because I know he's dysregulated, right? I know he's still in this heightened awareness that he's not going to hear really anything I say. So I'm just waiting. And the last few times that he's done this, he's came out, he's stood, he's angry, like I said, he's kicked a few things, and then he just goes back to class and he's fine. I mean, it's so amazing to see these milestones that he's accomplished. Because like I said, he would just bolt. He would just be gone, running and running and running. And he has not done that in a long time, which is huge, huge bonus, huge work for him. Like, he's done amazing. We have another kid who just has no stamina at all. And when he doesn't want to go anywhere, he just sits down. He sits down. He's in the middle of the hall. He's in the middle of the stairwell. He's in the middle of a walkway, like in the middle of a doorway. Doesn't matter. He's just done. So he just sits. Like, they've lost that stamina to like keep going. We got to get this going. And he takes a little bit longer to come around. I have another student, when he gets upset, usually drawing will help him calm down. Sometimes it is a couple minutes. It's not a quick reset sometimes. He'll like to draw a picture for a parent, or just draw in general. Like, he loves to do that. And that's a quick reset for him, and he's back to class. So sometimes these are simple. Other times it does take a little bit longer. And we just sometimes have to wait them out. And I know that's hard. But overall, I would say getting these micro interventions in place definitely help the students. Those are definitely quick strategies that you can use, and it is a quick reset for your students. And obviously you have to know your students. Sometimes you have to do more than one quick reset, or sometimes it is going to be a little bit longer of a reset. But you know your students and what's best. But these are tools that you can start using immediately and see, is this a fit for your students? Is this the right fit? Or maybe it's 2 or 3 of these you use, or maybe it's just 2 of them, or maybe you kind of take a little bit from each and try and do that. But this is a great place to start, and so that you have the tools that you can, so that you can respond with that clarity and confidence, because now you know, okay, look, this is what we can do, and let's try this. So today I'm talking about 7 micro practices that can help calm your room in 60 seconds. approximately. So just know that micro practice interventions normalize dysregulation. They're going to establish safety and set up the idea that the room can shift in under a minute. So that's why you want to use these. And then also that this is truly trauma-informed brain science. So like I said, their nervous system needs safety first. They need to feel safe in order to be able to calm. So these micro practices lower arousal, they restore predictability, they reduce that power struggle, they protect relationships, and help you to co-regulate the room. Because again, you're the example, right? They're looking at you to see, okay, are you calm? Or if you're not, how do you get calm, in a moment where you feel stressed out or overwhelmed? And so these are some ways that you can co-regulate together. And what's amazing is that I have seen more and more classrooms doing this. I've seen a lot more teachers and really it is just a minute to be able to okay, everyone's taking a breath, or okay, everyone's gonna close their eyes for a minute, or okay, everyone give themselves a hug. Whatever it is that I've seen is really encouraging because it's social emotional learning. It's bringing attention to their mental health, getting them into a state where they're ready to learn. It just has such good benefits all over for everybody. So these are some of the 60-second micro practices, and there are 7 of them we're going to go through. And the first one is the 4-count reset and rhythm and breath for an instant downshift. So you could say in for 4. So they're going to take a deep breath for 4 seconds, hold it, and then breathe out for 4. So that's in for 4. They're going to hold it for 2 and then out for 4. It really is calming. It really will make a difference. That's a great one to use. I've seen that used a lot. I use it and it does help. The second is the soft start cue. So this is the environment of your classroom. So do you have lower lights? You're kind of softening your voice. You're standing still if you're able to. And because sensory cues bypass the overload. So if your students are overwhelmed, they're trying to finish up whatever projects, or they're trying to clean up their area and clean up their desk or work with their partner or whatever it is, there's a lot always going on in your classroom, right? There's a lot of learning. And sometimes, right, you have different stations going on in your classroom and they're doing different learning at different stations. And there, is just a lot going on. And so it can be overwhelming for some of your students. So to be able to have, lower lights. I know our school is switching out those fluorescent lights for LED lights, and those really do make a difference. But some of those LED lights are really bright. I mean, they're bright. And so majority of our teachers have half of their lights on at a time. Or they have some covers for their lights in their room. And then they have standing lamps or little lamps throughout the classroom. So it just brings a lower, calmer atmosphere for your learning. And those really make a difference as well. And then, of course, having a quieter, calmer voice, right, that goes to the tone that you use. And I've seen some teachers who will stand in front of the class and just whisper. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the class to actually realize, what are you doing? Is she teaching? Is she not teaching? She's just standing there. I don't know. And then they start catching on like, oh, she is talking, but we can't hear her. And then usually the class will finally get quiet. Other times I've seen teachers just say, okay, I'll wait. And they just wait for, the conversations, the side conversations to stop, the, ignoring and all of those fun things. They just wait. And sometimes it's counted, like I've seen some teachers say, okay, I had to wait like 3 minutes, so now that's 3 minutes off of your recess, or 3 minutes off of your lunch, or however you want to do it, but so that they feel the impact of their behaviors as well. And granted, those are not major penalties per se, if you want, but it's just a consequence, right? It's showing them that how your behavior affects everybody. So I really like that one. Just starting off calm and cool in your classroom. Number 3 is the anchor phrase. So predictable language signals safety. So sometimes just like, let's settle our bodies. Everybody, sit at your desk. Everybody close your eyes. Count to 10, whatever it is, and then back to, your lesson, your directions, whatever it is that they're moving on to. So they know now what let's settle our bodies means. Okay, it's time for quiet voice. So they know what's expected. You remind them it's okay, but it's time to settle our bodies. Like that means you're getting your bodies in control. You're having a calm body, or you're sitting with your feet on the floor, hands maybe on your desk, whatever it is that regulates, that settles their bodies for you in your classroom. What does that look like for you is what I'm saying. What does that look like for you, for your students to settle their bodies? Maybe it's just stop walking around the room when you're trying to teach. It's so crazy. Here's my side note. Like, how many kids just randomly get up in the middle of lessons because they got to blow their nose at exactly that moment? I get it, right? There's lots of sickness going around. Yes, we don't want their snots all over the place. Okay. So let me use a different example. I have to go get a drink of water right this minute. So I'm going to get up in the middle of your lesson and go get my water bottle. Oh, but it's not in the classroom. So now I have to go out to the hallway and go get it out of my backpack. And then, I might see Johnny out there, and then I have to say hi. And then, I come back in, and then, you've moved on to the next thing. And now they're like, I don't know what to do. Why don't I know what are we supposed to be doing? Holy smokes. Sit down. And then sometimes if Johnny gets up to go get water, well, then Mark wants to stand up and go get water because he got water. Why can't I go get water? And then, Susie's got to go put her jacket away, or she's messing with her hair. Holy smokes. Like I said, oh my goodness. Children, chill. Sit down. That's a crazy one that I see all the time. Anyways, sorry, side note. Let's settle our bodies. Stop walking around the room every 2 seconds. Okay, next one is number 4, the 10-second grounder. So this is where you kind of bring them back to the present. So if they are kind of dysregulating, focusing on maybe one thing that happened that's upsetting them, that they just can't seem to get their breath about it, like they're just, rambling. You're just like, okay, let's take a minute. Name one thing you see right now. Name one thing you hear. Name one thing you feel. And that just grounds them to where they are right now, to what is happening right now around them. And it really just helps them refocus onto the present and tangible instead of this other thing that was happening and upsetting them. And this truly works. I've seen it work a lot. This one, though, I have to be honest, like I don't always think of using this one. I think of the breathing and settling bodies first before I think of the grounding. That's just me. I want to use it more. I just don't think of it first. But it does work. The next one would be 5, and it is the micro movement release. So this I've learned with some of our students who have autism in giving that sensory pressure. So this one is a palm press. So right, they're taking their hands and they're just pressing their hands together. This works a lot, or works well with some of your students when they get upset, when they're angry, they're frustrated, like they're just, you can tell like they want to explode, but we obviously don't want them to explode. So sometimes I have said, you know what, squeeze your hands, squeeze your palms, push your hands together, and that helps to release the anger and the stress at that moment. And just holding it, you know, you can count to 10, have them do it. You can do it, count to 5. But having them push pressure on that really does work. Doing a shoulder roll, right? I've also seen like shaking their arms out, shake their arms out, roll their shoulders, cross body tap. So, right, they're going to cross their arms in the front and they're just going to tap their shoulders and down their arms, up and down. And then that's also where you can have them give themselves a hug, right? They cross their arms and just squeeze so they feel that sensory pressure there. Those really work. And those are things that they can do themselves. Like I have also done like squeezes, arm squeezes on students to help with that pressure, that sensory, and that works. We've used weighted vests for that pressure and sensory, and that works as well. We've used weighted blankets for some students. There, we also have weighted lap blankets. We've used bigger weighted blankets. Those also are good sensory for students that are really upset. That really does help to calm the body. And those are easy ones, right? They don't have to look for a fidget or, you know, a certain book, or they don't have to start drawing. Like this is something they have obviously on themselves, because it is themselves that they're using to help release this pressure and stress. So the micro movement release is a super successful one. Number 6 is the visual reset, a calm color cue. So sometimes it's just having, you could have it a laminated color sheet where you have different colors on there, like a sage or a cream or a soft blue. These are just calming colors, and they could be different shapes. They could be, you know, pictures of something, but with these soft colors on there. And sometimes just having those out, these could be in your calm corner, in a quiet space in your classroom that they could just look at. Some of them, I mean, you could make posters and have maybe in a certain area as well for them just to go look at. Or, maybe you make them for everyone and it's a little 4x6, laminated sheets, and you put them on a key ring and everybody has them. And maybe you say, you know what, it's time to get out your colors. Everybody just go through your colors and look at your colors for 10 seconds, whatever it is. Those are calming, to be able to look and focus at calm colors. It's a good visual reset. And then number 10 is the tabletop breath. So again, this is where your students are going to sit at their desk. Their feet are going to be flat on the floor. Hands are sliding in and out as they exhale. So they're sliding forward on their desk as they inhale, and then pulling back as they exhale. So they're doing the movement as well as doing the breathing. And that is a very calming movement as well. So to recap, 7 60-second micro practices that you can start using today. And that is the 4-count reset, rhythm, and breath for an instant downshift. So they're breathing in for 4, holding it for 2, and out for 4. Number 2 is the soft start cue, having those dimmer lights, a softer tone voice, standing still, just giving your students a moment. Number 3 is the anchor phrase, because that predictable language signals safety, reminding them, let's settle our bodies. Number 4 is the 10-second grounder, where you're helping them to, reminding them, name a color that they see, name a sound that they hear. Number 5 is the micro movement release, where they're doing their palm press, their hands together, shoulder rolls. Number 6 is that visual reset, those calming colors, pictures that they can look at. And then number 7, doing that tabletop breath where their hands slide out and then they slide back in. So when can you use some of these micro interventions and these micro practices? You can do them anytime, right? But sometimes it's like transitions, after lunch, testing season, right? When you're feeling the room is getting a little crazy, maybe it's everyone back at your desk, put hands on top of your desk, we're doing some breaths. When you see one student is dysregulated, now it's affecting another student, and now there's another one, and you're kind of getting ready to lose it and realize, you know what? I have these. Name one thing you see, guys. Or think about it in your head. Because this is going to help calm their nervous system as well as calm yours. So I would avoid calling out students, right? Because it doesn't really help, honestly. It kind of brings frustrating. I mean, let me rephrase, right? There's definitely time and a place you need to call out your students, right? Because they lose their mind. They're being disrespectful, rude, interrupting. Like sometimes they need to be called out. But as far as trying to get a calm for everybody, you want to avoid, escalating tones, assuming intent, over-explaining, right? You want to remember that regulation is sensory. It's not always verbal. And then that transition is like when they're lining up and maybe they have to wait for the other teacher before they transition to a different class. But now they're standing in the hallway and they're all kind of acting a little crazy. So how about you try the micro movement? Okay, everybody, palm press. Everybody, cross body hug. Everybody shoulder roll, right? Those are super easy and quick that you can do while you're standing in line. You know, your students are waiting to transition into another classroom. It could also be like right before they start a test. You can see they are losing it. They're feeling stressed out about it. Okay, everybody. Breathing in for 4, hold it for 2, and blow it out. And do that like 3 times. And then now it's like, okay, turn your paper over. We're going to start your spelling test. Great. Everyone's like back in a calmer situation. So, which 60-second reset are you going to use this week? What cue will your students associate with being calm? Where are they going to see these transitions and these resets make a difference? Try 1, try 2, try 5, try them all. They will make a difference, and they're in the moment. You can, just remember these. And if you want me to create a document for you, I can do that, but email me, DM me, send me a message and let me know if you really want this in a document that you can print out and you can have for yourself to see quickly, like, oh, okay, let's do this anchor phrase. Let's do the grounder. Name something you see. These are great and they will make a difference. And it truly can only take 60 seconds to change the atmosphere in your classroom. So let me know, which one are you going to try? I would love to hear from you. Also, before you go, don't forget the Behavior Mastery membership is going to be open only for 7 days. And so I want to encourage you, if you want to feel calmer and more confident during those tough moments of your students' challenging behaviors, this Behavior Mastery membership is for you. So check the show notes and I will see you there. We'll see you next week, guys. Thanks so much for listening. I truly appreciate your support. And if I have encouraged you, motivated you to continue to learn, to support your students, even better, to help them strive in your classroom, please leave a review, hit that subscribe button so that others can see they can learn and grow here as well. Thank you.